Hi, legends. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Welcome. A nice little early live stream today. Let me just pause this over here. Okay, cool. Hope everyone can hear me. Hope the sound is good. Let's do this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another beautiful Tuesday. And I thought I'd do a little bit of an earlier live stream, just discuss, we got a little drop here to the downside. Okay, yesterday during the live stream, we were hoping for a little bit of upwards momentum. And we got a drop. Today, from an education perspective, I'll explain exactly why we dropped, what I was looking for, why did I take profits on the trade that I shared with you last night during my live stream, and what are the possible trading opportunities today. Also, I'll tackle some fundamental news and have some fun just discussing the news, hear some of your views as well. Let's dive right in. Okay. First things up, let's do this so that everyone can see my stream over here. Let's go. Yo, Deerwold, how are you doing, brother? I'm doing, Nags, I'm doing very well. Bangi, let's go. Yes, let's go. Right, so I am currently tracking this little triangle here, okay? And it might be a valid triangle, it might not be a valid triangle. Okay, but I want to go through the price action over here. Let's just do a quick recap of yesterday. But before I dive in, what I would like to do is just go through a little bit of fundamental news. And I see other people are also watching the similar structure that I'm currently watching over here. Okay. Yeah, I see they have their trend here on the candle closes. Not something that I prefer, but some people still seeing this as a massive bullish pennant where we're going to have a massive breakout here to the upside where you measure the pole and you have a measured move to around about $90,000. Okay, well, we'll have to see if that's going to play out. Today we'll analyze the price of Bitcoin and see what are the probabilities. Okay, next up. DEXI. Remember yesterday we discussed the DEXI. If I go in here, let's open up the DEXI over here, DXY, close this up. I said, I would like to see a double top. Okay. Let's go into the 12 hour. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Okay, we're getting a little bit of choppiness over here from the DEXI perspective, and this is what's giving the negative correlation to Bitcoin and any risk on asset. Right. I would like for us to still go and claim higher levels. I would like to see a double top. Okay. Failing to break through these highs, like I mentioned yesterday, and getting downwards momentum. Breaking back beneath this trend would be very bullish for risk on assets like your favorite altcoins and Bitcoin. Okay, so getting a little bit of choppiness over here, but getting acceptance back above this level could spell continuation to the 786, the 88, and even coming to claim these highs. And that would be extremely bullish for the DEXI if we have to change market structure, taking these highs with massive amounts of volume kicking in, coming back for correction, making a higher low for continuation to the upside. Okay, just want to take the brushes here out quick. Right, so going back to the news over here, some people are seeing this as a Wyckoff distribution schematic, which is bullish, very, very bullish for risk on assets, where they're saying that we have now completed the UTAD. There's the UTAD. Let's just mimic what they are seeing over here. And we had LPSY, there's the LPSY. We basically have a double LPSY. So I think this is where it's starting to invalidate this model, because from the highs, you can see ARST, from the highs, ARST. I'm not too familiar with these Wyckoff distribution schematics, and I see people post them quite often and then they don't play out. So I would take this with a pinch of salt, perhaps even a bag of salt. Okay. And perhaps it can play out, right? Where we made the high over here, we made the high, and then you start tumbling down from here. Okay, so could this be the same where we are going to see the DXY making that double top, signaling weakness for momentum here to the downside? Okay, so very interesting to see what's going to happen here with the DXY. We need to get acceptance back below these highs, which we have at the moment. For now, we do have acceptance. If I zoom in here, okay, and I put a little horizontal line here to say that we need to close. Try this again. We need to close below that blue line. And currently we are below the blue line, which could, you know, all a game of probabilities, which could signal momentum to the downside, creating that double top and bullish momentum for risk on assets. Right, and then we'll have to see that if we do find momentum here to the downside, is it simply a retest of the trend for continuation back to the upside, claiming both the highs over here? Okay, but there's definitely a possibility where this is just a pullback and then it's building up momentum to break out here. So I am not convinced just by looking at Wyckoff distribution schematics. Only once it's played out will I say, oh, okay, it played out. One of the many that I've seen all over X and Twitter has played out. Right. Next up, let's go through some fundamentals. For those of you that are familiar with Elliott wave theory, I found this quite interesting, where TechDev writes, may want to read last Bitcoin update on track. Okay, so they're basically comparing the bull market where we are right now compared to what happened during the previous bull run cycle of 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Right. Okay. So those of you that are familiar with Elliott waves and the counts and the corrective structures, you'll find this interesting, but I think to keep it simple and understandable for everyone is where we are right now. They're saying we are over here where we've made the top. We've made the top. If you guys can see my cursor. Yeah, there's the top. There's the top. And we are busy with a fourth wave here to the downside. We are busy with a fourth wave. So perhaps we will still get a leg up and a leg down. Not claiming the 2.618 level. Okay. Basically, if I translate this back to the price of Bitcoin, looking at the structure over here, they're basically saying this needs to be the bouncing area. Round about this area needs to be the bouncing area. Okay, for the fourth wave to complete, for momentum back to the upside. So you could see a fake out from this triangle, making people extremely bearish only to have a massive bounce and a recovery and a breakout above the triangle. Okay, right. And then they are predicting here up to $130,000 for the Bitcoin when we reach the fifth wave over here. So currently busy with the fourth wave and then a final fifth wave here to the upside. Exactly what happened during 2021 bull market. And there are some great similarities over here. It does look, you know, you have the corrective structure to the upside. You have the corrective structure to the upside. You have that little mini dump over there. You know, not exactly the same, but it looks like it's rhyming at the moment. Okay. Right. Next up, halving coming in hot, 2 weeks, and demand is already exceeding supply. Okay. Demand goes or dwindles away, and then supply. Wait, let me just rephrase it in my own mind. If there's no demand, then the supply, well, if there's no demand, then it means there's too much supply, price goes down. If there's too much demand, price goes up because then supply diminishes, right? And here you can see the buying power versus how much is actually produced. So it's basically, you know, I like to compare it to apples when I explain it to some of my friends and family, is to say that, well, if you have 10 apples and 100 people want 10 apples, you can basically push up your price and sell the apples for almost anything you want because the demand is exceeding the supply. But if you have 100 apples and only 10 people want apples, well, then you're going to have to go and most probably sell your apples at a loss because no one wants your apples. And this is exactly what's happening here with the price of Bitcoin, is that the demand is superseding the supply, which means price goes up. Okay. Next up, Mr. 100 strikes again. I find this fascinating. This Mr. 100 that keeps on buying 100 Bitcoin every now and again at random interval, at random times, and no one knows who this person is or who this country or institution, or individual. No one really knows who this person is, but this person bought another 100 Bitcoin and now owns 1,129 Bitcoin. Right. Accelerating buys ahead. Okay. Anticipating the halving, people are buying up, anticipating that we're going to have that explosive move after the halving. Right. I also seriously doubt that we're just going to have the halving and price is going to go up from there. I do see, if you compare the halving in for previous bull cycles, you will see that maybe a month or two after the halving, that's when price really starts to accelerate. So there's still time. You are still early. Right, next up, GBTC outflows of $303 million in the first quarter. Grayscale lost another 4,380 Bitcoin today. So still a lot of outflows on GBTC, and I think it is a lot to do with people selling their Bitcoin out of the GBTC Scale Trust so that they can participate via the ETFs where the fees are a lot cheaper. Okay, so it could be you withdrawing your money from one exchange, simplicity's sake, you withdrawing your money from one exchange because you want to transfer it into another exchange where the fees are cheaper and whatever else benefits you see in that exchange. Okay, so the money might be going out, but there's also buying going on in the background as well. And here you can see that. April 1 net outflow for US Bitcoin ETFs, 88 million, primarily due to 303 million outflow. Okay, let's just zoom into this little structure. We had that dump on Bitcoin, which you can correlate exactly to the dump in Bitcoin. And then we had a little bit of upwards momentum, people buying up the dip. And now we saw a red day again yesterday, which is this little dip over here. Okay. Right, I don't want to delete that. Next up, Bitcoin miners are flocking to Ethiopia for their cheap hydropower, currently priced at 3 cents per kilowatt hour. Okay, very interesting. I just found that Elon Musk, during our previous bull cycle, made a comment where he bought Bitcoin and then he sold the Bitcoin and he said it's not clean enough for him yet. And because, his whole motto and vision is around sustainable energy and cleaning, playing a role in cleaning up the environment from a CO2 perspective, and Tesla and all these clean companies that he's running. And now people are finally making Bitcoin a little bit greener. Right, next up. Liquidation heat maps, longs flushed, now 4 billion shorts to 74. Okay, so it looks like the funding rate has reset, right? So a lot of liquidations taking place with this little dump over here, and people are still keeping an eye on all that liquidity that lies above this high over here. Okay. I'm not convinced. I don't think we are just going to do this. I think we're going to stay inside of this structure for a little longer before we see a true breakout to the upside or to the downside. Okay. Right. Next up, just in 143 million liquidations. This is exactly what I spoke about in the past 60 minutes. So it's basically this little dump over here. 143 million worth of liquidations, but I can tell you guys now there is billions of dollars sitting on top here. Okay, and I have a feeling that when the low is in this area, let's say the low is in this area, you're going to see how this liquidity dries up, because if it's smart money, they're going to start taking profits. Right, let's go back. Last up, Injective protocol has been weak lately, but it's finally reached a key support level on the Bitcoin pairing. Okay, we'd like to see a bottom from around here. Okay, you can see Injective protocol, one of those altcoins that have already broken all-time highs with massive volume to the upside, and perhaps, just zooming into the structure over here, broken out of all-time highs with significant volume. We can go and look at Injective protocol now, and this is perhaps the retracement for continuation to the upside. Okay, we do have a nice little consolidation area here that's providing support at the moment. Let's go and look at Injective protocol quick. Let's do this. I do have INJ here somewhere. Let me go look for Injective protocol. Here we go. Let's go on to the weekly and see where we stand. I have done some analysis over here. Oof, it even looks more bullish than the chart that I just saw. Okay. Yeah, you can see on the weekly Injective protocol, a lot of people fear buying in these areas because it's pumped too much. But this shows me what makes me excited about seeing price action like this is that there are still many alts lagging behind that are still here in this area. There are still many alts in this area, and those are the ones that I'm currently building up spot bags for, expecting this move at some stage. It might be not right now, could be in a month or 2 or 3, and maybe June, July, when these altcoins finally start rallying, but it's a good place or area to start loading up on the alts that have not done this, like Injective protocol over here. Right, but looking at Injective protocol, I would say for it to remain bullish and we're getting a little bit of dumpiness to the downside is that we need to hold this high. Oops, what did I do now? Okay, there's the high. Just want to take that brush out. Okay, so even if we come down further with Injective protocol, and perhaps this was the end of the structure over here, and this is part of a correction here to the downside, we need to hold these highs as support for the price to remain bullish. Okay, if we find ourselves back below the highs, it could be that we are going to retrace. If I take a fib, this is pure high level stuff. Okay, take a fib. Oof, you see that 618 is exactly or round about the highs over here. So any retracement over here could be bullish where you want to load up. I mean, the golden zone is between the 618 and the 786. The 618 having confluence here with the highs. Okay, but I would also consider this a load up zone, which is considered the golden zone. Okay, where you're holding the highs over here, the closing candles, not the wicks, where you're holding the highs over here inside the golden zone. If we had to find momentum here to the downside, this to me is a great load up zone from a spot bag perspective. Okay, but it has done phenomenal things. Injective has done absolutely phenomenal things. I just want to see from the lows over here to the high. 4,000%, not bad. 4,000% is really not bad gains. But I mean, ultimately, if you've been holding your position, not taking profits, you would still be in the well, depending on where your entry is. Okay, let's just take an average entry. You build up your spot bags during this consolidation zone to where the price is now. You're still 292% in profits. Right, that is Injective. And I know why we all here, and I'll go through the comments just now in a moment, is the price of Bitcoin. What is happening here? We're getting some dumpiness here to the downside. Right. I really thought that these highs, just go on to the 15-minute. I was hoping that we were going to get acceptance back above these highs or this low over here. Right. This is where I actually entered a trade and now I got stopped out. Okay, you get acceptance, double bottoms. This is what I like. You get a double bottom. You get acceptance back above the low and potentially coming to claim the high over here. And this obviously didn't play out now, so got stopped out. Nonetheless, good risk management, and I didn't enter with more than what I'm willing to lose. Okay, cool. Now, let's go through some of the comments. Hi, everyone. Alan. Great to see you here. I'm ready to buy more BTC at 52K or lower. Right. Okay. We'll go analyze if we can hit 52K. And definitely, I mean, if we hit those levels, I would definitely be there buying like a crazy maniac. Welcome to the stream. Master Prawn, thank you so much for joining. How's the moon phase going? The moon phase. Let's go look at the moon phase here on the 8-hour. Okay. Right, switch on the moon phase. And at the moment, I mean, moon phase has 74% accuracy rate. So please remember that it doesn't always play out to perfection. But if you keep consistent and you keep on buying and selling at each moon phase, you will still make profits, okay, because it has a 74% accuracy rate. But you can see here we had a full moon print over here. We did get upwards momentum. But not we just don't have enough strength looks to take this high at the moment. Right, and now we're getting the little dump to the downside. So will this area hold, or are we going to see here on the 8th of April, round about this area is when the new moon prints, okay? So are we going to perhaps still see a deeper correction once this new moon prints, consolidating inside here for that fake out to the downside, and then slowly recovering back to the upside? Okay, and perhaps the full moon will then print over here somewhere. Okay, we'll just have to analyze the situation. Maybe over there somewhere. Okay, I think it's about 20 days apart, if I'm not mistaken, 15 or 20 days apart between the full and the new moon. So this one was on the 10th of March, this one was on the 25th of March, so it's about 15 days apart. Okay, then on the 8th of April, and then most probably on the 20th of April. Okay, right. What else? I want to quickly recap on what happened yesterday. Okay. Purely from an education perspective, a lot of people got into an insane trade, and I can guarantee you not everyone made money. And I just want to switch this off, zoom into this price action over here. Okay. Okay, I think I had a trend. Let me just go and find that trend. Not that one, this one over here. Okay. Switch on my today analysis, and let's just recreate what happened yesterday, purely from an education perspective, okay? For those of you that was on the live stream yesterday, you will remember that we spoke about price action when we were over here. Okay, actually over there. Right, we were watching this move over here. And then what happened is we had the breakout and we had a drop to the downside. And a lot of people expecting the claims of the highs over here. Okay, with this little breakout over here. What I did mention yesterday in my live stream is that, guys, you have to watch the volume. Okay, I went to bed round about when price was over here. I went to bed. What's the time over there? No, I went to bed over here. Okay, and I moved my stop loss over here. And I entered the trade over here. Okay, so I already took 80% of my profits when we hit this level as a clear area of resistance, and I left 20% of the position open to come and claim these highs. Okay, why did we turn around and fall down? There's little clues that you can watch for next time when this happens. Okay, and the clues that I saw zooming in here onto the price action is we had, if you look at this candle over here, okay, that little candle over there, okay, and it's, I hate it when it does this thing. It's that little volume node over there. Okay, quite a high volume node. And I said, guys, when you have a candle that touches the trend to perfection with high volume, okay, if you see more momentum to the upside, you want to see volume increasing. It needs to be higher than that volume node. Okay, let me just take this out. I want to see volume increasing, not decreasing. So when we had the high volume node at this point over here, and this is usually how I spot fake outs, is that when you have a high volume node touching the trend and not breaking out, and you still have momentum to the upside, but the volume is not higher than the first spike over there. If volume had to slowly start increasing, you get a slow increase in volume, it then confirms that the breakout is real. Okay, and that is why when I saw volume decreasing, I was like, well, the market is here to surprise us. I'm just going to move my stop loss to break even. And I went to bed and I went to go sleep, and then I got stopped out here. Still insignificant profits. Okay. Where a lot of people, I know traders, people that don't have a lot of experience, where greed starts kicking in is they enter, they get the best entry and they're like, well, I nailed this entry. Stop below the low and I am going to take profits here by the highs. Okay. And as a rule, you move up, you move your stop loss to break even. Okay, now at least your position is protected. And if you didn't protect your position, you got stopped out on a loss, you are just silly, absolutely silly. You have to protect your cash. Okay, and then momentum went here to the upside, and a lot of people didn't take profits. A lot of people didn't take profits, and then this happens. Okay, you don't even hit any of your TP targets, and you either get stopped out at break even, which is still fine, but some people left their stop losses there and even lowered their stop losses, thinking that we're going to have a bounce for continuation here to the upside. That is not how you trade. And I think the reason I'm sharing this as well is yesterday during my live stream, I stressed the importance of taking profits on the way up. I said it is extremely important to take profits on the way up. And I also shared a screenshot of the trade that I took where I took profits over here. Okay, where I entered, protected my position, and I took most of my profits over here. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Please don't make that mistake again. Right, take profits to the upside, even if price does this. At least you have paid yourself, because when price turns against you, you're like, damn, I should have taken profits. When price goes up, damn, I should have left the position. You're just never happy as a trader, but as long as you close in the green, you should be happy, because every little bit adds up at the end of the month. Okay. What else? What else? Another thing, go down, for those of you that are not trading on an exchange as yet, go down into the description for my community, 20% reduction in Bybit when you use this link to sign up. And also Mexi for the lowest fees, also $20,000 bonus depending on how much you deposit and trade. Go sign up right now. Come and trade with me. Okay. With good risk management, I'm giving you guys so much alpha. Go sign up to an exchange, come trade with me, let's make money together. And by using my affiliates, you guys qualify for these special with a 20% reduction and the 30K and 20K bonus. Right, let's get back into action over here. Okay, now, where we are now is a little bit tricky. Okay, still, I will not remove this trend. I will still track this momentum here to the downside, because potentially breaking this trend could still give us a little bit of upwards momentum where you retest the scene of the crime. So we have now lost the all-time high. We have to acknowledge, I just want to go into the 1 hour here. Let's zoom out a bit. We have to acknowledge that for now, the price is bearish, okay? We tried to claim the all-time highs, okay, and we failed. That's an SFP. We got momentum to the downside. We tried again and failed, okay? So perhaps this could be a retest for then further continuation to the downside. Okay, so, and that is why I'm still keeping an eye on this trend, because this could still be a nice little upwards momentum, failing to claim the all-time highs again, which is still inside the channel, and then we come tumbling down again. Okay, so from a larger time frame trade perspective, that is definitely a trade that I'm keeping in mind. Remember the tips and the tricks that I've told you guys about spotting fakeouts to the upside. And we just have to see if we do get to this trend, what's going to happen. Right, from the smaller time frame perspective, let's see what is happening over here. Did you guys see where we got the bounce? Okay, I cannot tell you guys how important point of controls are. When I switch on the session volume profile, just to show you point of controls, you can see here on the 24th of March, okay, look at where the price bounced. Okay, just taking this out, now you know where I got the level. I've got a naked point of control from the 24th of March over here, and look at where we got the bounce. To perfection. We fell like a rocket down here, and we got a nice $2,000 bounce to the upside. These naked point of controls are golden. They are really golden. Make sure that you always have them marked out in your chart. This naked point of control was just there for decoration. We just literally smashed through there. And there's also such a high volume node over here, and also a weekly level, if I'm not mistaken. Right, let's switch on my weekly levels. Okay, there's a weekly level. And also, just want to take the scribble out. If you switch on your volume, your VRVP, you zoom out a little bit. Okay, we absolutely just smashed through back onto the 1 hour. Okay, we smashed through this high volume node over here like it didn't even exist. Here we go. We just smashed through it. Hence, I think the large volume here to the downside. Okay, absolutely smashed through that. So if we do get a bounce in this area, that's another level that I will consider for a short, and also profit taking if you are entering along, is that perhaps we get a bounce here by the 0.786. We can go work out some targets now. And I would definitely consider this as a profit-taking area for continuation to the downside because of the high, insane volume here. Right. Usually when you have a clear level marked out and you break it like it doesn't exist, when price comes back up or down, depending on whether it's a long or a short, it will then offer support or resistance. And in this case, resistance for potentially a continuation here to the downside. Right. Okay. Let's go on back onto the 15-minute and just see what this structure offers. Okay, the one thing that I'm watching over here, I'm going to take the VRVP out. The one thing that I'm watching is that I'm trying to count this from an Elliott wave perspective, just to say that, well, where can this end before we see a nice little bounce to the upside? Okay. So a couple of scenarios that I'm watching is to say that this can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, where the end is close. Or it could be a larger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And I then I just want to take this fib out the way quickly. Yeah. Let's do this. Just take it out. Okay. Now I can go and take my fib expansion from the highs to the low. If this is a bigger wave 1 that I'm trying to measure, where can the third wave end? Okay. If this is impulses to the downside, which it looks like it is, especially considering the volume. Okay, third waves, for those of you that's been following me for a while, you know third waves. Okay, 1, 2, 3. The third wave loves the 1.618 target, so there is still a possibility that the third wave can only end around about $64,400. And I think from a Fibonacci perspective, taking a fib, which I've just deleted and now I have to put back in, that's the 786 level to perfection. Well, almost perfection. Okay. Right. So a lot of people do not see any, and this is why I like Elliott wave theory from a target perspective, is that a lot of people see this area as an insignificant area because it doesn't have a naked point of control. There's no weekly level there. There's no daily level there. It feels like if prices have to fall down here, it's just going to continue to the downside. Where what I like about Elliott wave scenarios is that it gives me a target that if this is an impulse where this is a wave 1, 2, and we're busy with the third wave, it gives me a target which tells me this could potentially be a bouncing area where no one is expecting the bounce. Okay, where you bounce, you make a fourth wave, and then perhaps a final fifth wave, grabbing the liquidity below these lows for then continuation to the upside, or you can even you tap this trend. Okay. So that's one of the scenarios that I'm still keeping in mind. Okay. Another scenario is, just want to zoom in here, see where this lies. So this is taking this scenario into account. If this is a bigger 1, 2, and we are still busy with a third wave here to the downside. And it can also be a three-wave structure. It doesn't have to be a 5-wave structure to the downside. It can be a 1, 2, 3, done. And then it finds continuation to the upside. Another scenario that I'm watching is to say that, well, what if this is a 1, 2, 3, okay? And this is the first wave inside the third wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I know it gets complicated. I'm just trying to work out targets, is to say that where can we possibly get that bounce? So taking that scenario into account, let's take this out to say that, well, if this is the 1, oops, that's the wrong tool. Let's grab the fib over there. Right, from the high to the low to the high. Okay, you can see that we've already tapped. So if this scenario is the one that people are watching from an Elliott wave perspective, 1, 2, 3, you can see that we've already tapped the 1.618. And this is potentially the fifth wave. Okay. So That's where it becomes interesting. But I mean, for me to take a trade, I want to see proof of supports. I want to see double bottoms. I want to see proof of support. I want to see CVD in my favor. And the trading setup that I discussed with our Legends community in the Discord this morning, also linked down in the description, go sign up, 25% discount, is we were watching this level over here. Okay, where you potentially move up, you get that double bottom for continuation to the upside. You get acceptance back above the lows, which we now failed to hold, and we are now still breaking down. Okay, and that is basically the scenarios that I'm watching at the moment. Cool, let's go through some comments over here. Are you guys listening? Are you following? Everyone is so quiet. I don't see a lot of comments here. Liquid Mafia, 8th of April, solar eclipse. Yes. From a psychic perspective, and the people that are deep into spiritual things, they say that this new moon is more significant than any of the other new moons, especially from a trading perspective as well, where we could see a much deeper retracement because of this new moon on the 8th of April, because it's coupled with the eclipse. So it's more powerful, basically. Right. I'm not saying I believe in those things. I'm just saying moon phases has proven to have a 74% accuracy rate, and perhaps this new moon is going to send us lower because of the eclipse. And I would just love to see how it plays out. Right. What else? Hey, Devil, do you hold UMB? No, I don't. I don't know what UMB is. Let me go and search it quick. Just find my bearings over here. UNB. Maybe I do. UNB. It does sound familiar somehow. On Mexi, let's go look at Mexi. Well, the fact that... Oof, no, I don't have this. Okay. Fundamentally, I would need to go and research it. It does look good. And people will say, well, how on earth, Devil, does it look good if it's not doing anything? Okay. I like that it has found the bottom over here and it's just going straight. It looks like it's dead. So I'm looking for a little heartbeat that can give it some life, and potentially then you see the breakout to the upside. So what I do like about UNB, purely from a technical perspective, I do not know the fundamentals. So I'm not going to add it to my spot bags just as yet. I first want to go and do some research. But what I do like from a technical perspective is that it has found the floor. So if I zoom in, it's gone to the daily over here. Okay, if I zoom in to the price action over here, now it looks like it found some life. Okay, but on the weekly, it looks completely dead, which tells me this is still a great accumulation zone over here. This is where you want to buy. Okay. But it does look like it's finding momentum here to the upside. So let's do this. Put a nice little trend. Take the scribble out. Okay, perhaps this is the highway that's going to take us out of the consolidation area. So if I agree with the fundamentals, this is potentially where I would load up. Okay, I do like the stairs. I really like the stairs that it's climbing. Can you guys see it? Makes a high, it breaks out, and then it finds support above the highs when it consolidates. Okay, this was just another consolidation above the highs over here, but then it breaks out above. Okay, it breaks out, and now it's tapping the highs. The highs are providing support over here. So this could be a great load up zone, expecting another breakout. Okay, where these highs will offer support. Breaks out, it consolidates, it climbs the stairs. I like coins that climbs the stairs. Okay. Or alternatively, we come back to the home line. I always say the home line is the best line for buy. The home line is for best buys. Okay, that's the discount line. Is that we potentially lose the lows over here. Okay, and we come and bounce on the trend and find support again above these highs. Okay, that would be a great load up zone for me when you tap the trend. Okay, for continuation to the upside. So technically it looks good. I like the consolidation area. I I like where it could go. I mean, zooming into the bull market of 2021, I'm sure it's 2021. Yeah, that bull market. If this coin has good fundamentals and it does have the possibility to come and claim this high and hopefully even this high over here, I mean, you know, building up a spot position in this area could take you 3x, 3,000, or is that 30x? 3,000 is 30x, isn't it? 30x. Holy crap. Okay, 30x. I'm not even going to try and calculate that. 103 or 100%, 310%. 10,310. Yes, I sound like Jacob Zuma from South Africa. 10,310%. Okay, cool. And I do believe that a lot of altcoins are not going to claim their all-time highs again. Okay, some altcoins can come and claim these pivots, but if it has good fundamentals like Solana, like Rune, like AVAX, like DOT, like Ethereum, you know, the ones that we know about, the ones that's been tried and tested, I know they will definitely be hitting their all-time highs again. Where with some of the altcoins, I mean, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of altcoins out there where the fundamentals just fall apart. The CEOs have long fingers into the account. They get fired by the board. The project goes down. And then it just never recovers. It just never recovers, and it just eventually dies. Okay, until they delist it and they remove it from all the exchanges. Okay, but yeah, so like I was saying, I just need to do some research here on the fundamentals. Looking at the structure over here, what is happening over here still looks like a great accumulation zone. This looks like, well, while price is here, this is where you want to load up your spot bags. Okay, what else? And speaking of spot bags, guys, 20% reduction in your fees. Okay, it really makes the trades worthwhile, especially if you're building up long-term positions and you get 20% fee reductions as well. Link down in the description. Go sign up to benefit from the lowest fees. Okay, that wraps UMB up. Oh, UMB is Umbrella. I do know about Umbrella Network. I do. And I think Andy likes this coin, if I'm not mistaken. Andy really likes this coin as well. But I would say, nice. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, and I'm sure you guys have been following Andy as well, Andy has been buying. Yeah, Andy has been buying in this area. So fundamentally, based on what I remember Andy saying, is that this is a good fundamental coin for the long term. So Andy loves it, and I can assure you he's most probably dollar cost averaging with every dip that we get here, expecting that explosive move here to the upside to at least come and claim this high in the short term. Okay, and then we have another couple of pivots here to the upside. Right, it looks really good. It really looks good. Okay. Many Belgians today. I live in Antwerp, Belgium. Welcome. I know my sister is also in Belgium. She's working there at the moment. She's coming back this year, so looking forward to see her. Andy has tons of UMB. Yes, I just realized when I saw the name, I didn't see the name. When I saw Umbrella, I was like, yes, Andy, one of Andy's favorite coins. Okay. Greetings from Belgium. The moon analysis you made on the show with Andy really nailed it. Full moon, new moon, I'm certainly taking it into account. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Peter. I appreciate the kind words. Yes, I think, you know, specifically, I don't use the full moon and the new moon to trade. I use it from a dollar cost average perspective. You know, the question on everyone's mind is always, you know, especially from family and friends, they think that I know something that I'm not telling my community, and I don't. I really don't. I share everything I know with my community. I try and share all the knowledge that I can with my community. But sometimes it frustrates me when everyone's like, when is the right time to buy? Do you think we're going to get a dip? Should I buy right now? And the answer is no one knows. Not even the best trader in the world knows where the price is going up or where the price is going down. You trade on probabilities and what price action is showing you, level to level to level, with good risk management. That is how you make money. But what I like about the moon phases is I then tell my family members or whoever's asking is when there's a full moon, and because we have upwards momentum, so I can now see the market structure has changed. We are not inside a bear market anymore. Okay, we are not inside a bear market anymore where the new moons take priority and they push the price down. Here we reversed. This was basically the reversal structure. This was the reversal structure over here. That's where it becomes very tricky to trade full moons and new moons, and there's a lot of deviations and inaccuracies in this zone. But when price is trending to the downside or to the upside, you know that you can identify this was a bear market and this is a bull market here to the upside. Okay, then you know, okay, the answer that I give everyone is as soon as it's full moon, go and Google when it is full moon in your country, what time, whatever the case might be, and when you want to dollar cost average into your portfolio because you don't know how low or how high the price is going to go, you are at least buying at a better time during the month. Okay, you are buying when the price is potentially at the lowest point and it's going to push it up. I mean, look at this full moon over here. If you bought this full moon over here, you would have had insane upwards momentum to the upside. Okay, and again, I dollar cost average. This is where I bought again, and I added a little bit of Bitcoin and a little bit of Ethereum to my portfolio. Okay. And even if price goes down, I don't care. I have to follow my rule. My rule says without bringing emotion into the equation, when a full moon prints, you buy. Okay, if you're that type of person that takes $100 every month after you get paid your salary, the best time to buy is during the full moon phase, because that is usually when you are buying at the lowest point if there is still upwards momentum to come. Okay, right, hope that makes sense. What else? Andy has a ton of, Andy has one of his higher risk alts. Yes, Umbrella is definitely a higher risk alt. It does have a lower market cap. I can see it in the price action. It does have a lower market cap, and I can see it in the volume as well over here. So definitely, I would say 1% of your portfolio, depending on how your portfolio is allocated. If you have 5% of your portfolio or 1% of your portfolio allocated to high risk altcoins, knowing that some of them will die, okay, this coin falls in that portfolio. This is not, I take my savings and everything that I've worked for and I just throw it into Umbrella. It is not that type of coin, okay. So definitely you have to practice good risk management and allocate it accordingly in your portfolio. And this is purely just what I would be doing. Okay. No financial advice. I just do this for entertainment purposes. Right. Guys, don't be shy on the like button. This is a valuable alpha and analysis. You're right. You're right. Definitely lots of alpha and analysis in here. I like the moon phases. I like to share knowledge. And I just want to switch the moon phases off and just zoom in to see where we are right now with the price of Bitcoin. Let's go into the 10-minute over here. Okay. I do see a bounce. Okay. I can be wrong, and I'm more than willing to say that I was wrong, because when I enter a trade, I enter it with good risk management, so I don't mind being wrong. Okay. I do see a bounce. If we continue with the momentum here to the downside, I do see a bounce here around about the 786 level. And I don't think a lot of people are expecting a bounce in this area. And when I say bounce, I don't mean go back to all-time highs. I literally mean a bounce. Okay, where you could reject again for further continuation to the downside. Or you break through, and that's where I observe price action, because now you have to break through the 618 that we've lost as well. So I want to see us break through this trend. And remember the tips and tricks that I showed you about the trading strategy when we were over here. Why did we get the roll over here and not claim these two pivots? If you didn't watch that, please go rewind back into the live stream. I shared some tips and tricks over here, why I was expecting price to roll over and fall down, and why I moved my stop loss to this level over here and still got stopped out in nice profits. Okay. Just want to make sure, am I missing anything? Did I take you guys through everything? Yes. We covered the news. We covered Bitcoin. How high do you expect Algorand to go? Ooh, Algorand. Algorand is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. I have many favorites, okay? All the ones here in red are some of my favorites, and not because just from a fundamental perspective. They are my favorites because they haven't run like some of the other coins yet. So to me, they are still my favorites to load up in anticipation of them taking the all-time highs again. And you will see Algorand is part of the list. Okay, boom, right. Let's go analyze Algorand. This for me is still accumulation zone. And I mean, I can even drag this box down to say that, well, you know, this is actually a better accumulation zone over here, connecting this high over here. And we are currently inside of accumulation zone. Okay, but let's say Algorand for me are definitely, in my opinion, and I can be wrong, but just from my opinion, are definitely one of those tokens that has a high probability in taking the high again. It's a good fundamental coin. It's been around for long. They have a good solid project. I like the white paper. I like everything about this coin. I've done my personal research, and please go, I encourage you to do your own research as well before you just blindly buy any coin that I'm talking about on here. But I do see Algorand doing this at some stage. I do see Algorand doing this. Okay, and this can take months and months and months and months. Right, but I do see that cup recovery, like I shared with Injective Protocol and a render that's already way above the all-time highs. But I do see Algorand doing some amazing things during the next bull cycle. Right, and you know, compared to Injective Protocol that I've just shared with you guys, look at where this alt is. It looks like umbrella here as well. Look at where it is. This is where you want to build up your positions. Slowly but surely, dollar cost averaging, little by little, you know, building up your position, buying up the dips, expecting that momentum here to the upside, climbing these resistance boxes like stairs. You know, you want to see when price breaks through, flip it into support. When price breaks through, flip it into support. Price breaks through, flip it into support. It climbs the stairs. I just wanted to see something else. Just want to zoom into, let's go into the 4 hour and just see what the local price action looks like. Okay, as you can see, I'm keeping it very simple with my analysis. I do not have a magic formula that I trade in the background, and I only share with you guys what I want to tell you guys. This is how I trade. This is how I am a successful day trader. Is I am tracking this momentum here to the downside. I have my alarm set, you know, for potential breakout. Okay, and I'm also just looking at the structure over here. I'm still bullish on Algorand because we have broken this long downsloping trend. Okay, from 16 May 2022, we have broken this long downsloping trend over here, connecting the highs. We have finally broken out. So this is potentially that retest, and it's building up that spring. It builds up that spring for that explosive move to the upside. Okay, in confluence with this highway that I'm now tracking to the upside. So I would like to see us hold this trend to remain bullish, because you know, from a bearish case scenario, we always have to consider both bullish and bearish case scenarios. Is that there's definitely a possibility where Algorand breaks down, okay, and then we get a bounce in this area. That consolidation area for me is very important, where we then get a bounce. So you have a fake out to the downside and you then get a bounce. That is why this area for me is an accumulation zone, not necessarily where price is at the moment. But it looks good. So far, so good. For now, it still looks bullish. Tracking the momentum here to the downside. I don't want to see us lose this trend. If we do lose the trend, I will take a fib from the low to the high. And you can see where the 618 is. Great load up zone over here for me. This is where I will be aggressively buying. Okay. Nice support over there as well. On the 618, you have a bounce. Okay, so it's offered some great support in the past as well. Also great support over here. So, and this is also the golden zone, you know, the golden zone. So even if price comes down and it looks extremely bearish and people are starting to sell their Algorand, I will be the one buying your Algorand over here. Okay, when you get scared and you sell your Algorand, Devold will be there buying your Algorand. Okay, just saying. Right, legends, hope you're all having a fantastic day. Irina, Devold, can you check CRV? Oh, CRV. Okay, I wanted to say goodbye, but I like CRV. I really, really like CRV. Okay, I felt like at one stage I was the only one that liked CRV because no one was talking about it, no one was trading it, and when I did speak about it, no one knew what I was talking about. From a technical perspective, I really like where CRV is at the moment. Okay, it looks beautiful at first glance, you know, and you guys will learn this with me, is that you look at a chart, you go onto the daily and you see this. And you're like, wow, this looks great. Technically, it looks great. I also like the fundamentals. Just want to clean up this brush. Okay. It's still inside of accumulation zone. And CRV has also broken a long-term trend here to the downside. Okay. We can zoom into the smaller price action here to see where we are. Okay, and these are just obvious resistance levels that I've marked out for potential TP areas to the upside. Okay, I do plan to take profits to the upside for some of my coins. And this could be a TP1, TP2, TP3, but I will be observing the price reaction when we get there. Okay, I'm not going to make the same mistake as you just hold on for dear life and then this happens. V-shape to the upside and to the downside, and you're like, crap, I didn't take profits to the upside. Why didn't I take profits here to the upside? I don't care with some of the alts if they go and do miracles and they end up over here somewhere. And people then laugh at me and say, haha, you took profits here, you took profits here. Imagine how big your position would have been if you just left it. Okay, because what could also happen is it does this and it comes back down, and then I'm the one saying, well, at least I took profits at clear resistance areas. Okay, right. Let's zoom into the smaller, oops, under one too many over there. Let's zoom into the 4 hour. Let's see what's happening with CRV. I like CRV. Okay, and I can only tell you guys what I like, and if you would like to trade with me, CRV is on Bybit as well and on Mexi, 20% fee in reduction in fees, and 30k bonus on Bybit, 20k bonus on Mexi. Go sign up with these links to benefit from this amazing deal. Okay, so looking at the 4 hour, you can see that long downsloping trend line that I was talking about. Okay, broken through. Okay, so perhaps a retest, some consolidation, building up that strength to then finally shoot up is definitely a scenario that I'm keeping in mind. Also want to just take a fib here from the low to the high. You see, this is also inside the golden zone. CRV actually looks really good. We are currently entering the golden zone. I like this zone a lot. Okay, I call this the golden zone because for me, it is where most of the bounces take place after a bearish dump to the downside. Inside the golden zone is usually when you start getting a recovery back to the upside. Okay, and it's also inside of accumulation zone. It is a beautiful retest of the trend. It is also, if you want to be patient and sit on your hands, you don't trust the downwards momentum, wait for this trend. Wait for this trend. You will be a little bit late for the party because your entry might not be here. Your entry might be here, okay? And then you get sometimes those retests that stop you out and then they continue to the upside. But for me, I like where CRV is at the moment. I really like it. We are entering the golden zone over here. Just want to see RSIs. This is the 4 hour at the bottom, 8 hour. Okay, I don't use RSIs to do my day trading, but I do keep an eye on them when I'm adding positions to my spot bags. Okay, 12 hour at the bottom, daily. Daily can still go to the bottom. Okay, weekly still on the way to the bottom, but I mean, yeah, so there's still opportunity for it to drop down a little bit further. But I mean, you know, the name of the game is dollar cost average. Dollar cost average into your positions. Okay, a lot of people, and I've seen it with some family and friends as well, they are waiting for the lowest point to buy the coin, and then it never happens. and then they miss out. And then when the coin is over here, they buy. It's like, no, dollar cost average. When you see red, you buy a little bit, you buy a little bit, you buy a little bit, you know, your dollar cost average, and it will bring your entry down. Every time you buy, it brings down your entry. It brings down your entry. Okay, but I like the structure over here. I really like the structure. Just want to see something else. Take all the scribble out. Go on to the 8 hour. Just want to check something else here. From an Elliott wave perspective. Okay. Let's do this. From the low to the high to the low. Okay. It does look 1-2, double 1-2 combo-ish to me. So this could either be, right? This was one structure just by itself. Doesn't lead to anything. This was just one structure. And then this could be another structure where it then starts the impulses to the upside. Another scenario that I'm watching is to say that, well, this could have been a 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and we're going to start making impulses here to the upside where this is a double 1-2 combo, and the third waves are extremely powerful and explosive to the upside. Okay. But nevertheless, I like, even if I count this structure, but now I need to know where the low is. Okay, so depending on where this low is going to end, we can then go and work out where the minimum target for or a general target for the third wave is going to be. Okay, but I like downwards momentum because that means I'm not missing out on my favorite altcoins. Because, I mean, when you go and look at, let's see here, let's go look at Rune. Rune actually still looks too good. Okay, let's go look at Injective, like I discussed during the beginning of the live stream. Okay, when you look at Injective here on the daily, it's too late for me. From a spot bag perspective, it's too late. I will still trade it from a day trading perspective, but from a spot bag perspective, it's too late for me. Okay, the coins that I've showed you, like CRV and Algorand that we've just spoken about, they are here. Okay, yes, it can still go down, but I mean, you're buying in the right, you're fishing in the right pond, okay, because you're still expecting this to come and claim the highs. And we have proof that it's possible. Some of the stronger altcoins like Injective Protocol, I think, I can't remember all the names, but some of them have done this already. Render has also done this. A nice little AI token. I do have a Render bag, and I have a great entry. I think my entry is $2. My average entry on Rune is $2. Cool. That is it from my side. BTC falling. Yes. What about Dexy? Dexy is most probably pumping. No, Dexy is getting acceptance back. For now, it looks good. The Dexy looks good. And I'm saying for now, okay? It looks good. You want to see us reject this area. And for now, we have momentum here to the downside, which could mean that we are forming that double top. Okay, and we're going to find momentum here to the downside, which can be very bullish for risk on assets if this plays out. Okay, if the Dexy decides, okay, this is enough, I'm going to go do this, and we claim this level over here, claiming these highs, we could see upwards momentum, which could still be very bearish for risk on assets. We'll just have to observe what is going to happen here locally. Okay. Please smash up the like, show me that you love the content, and subscribe. Please subscribe for future notifications. I do have a lot of people saying that, I missed your live stream, I missed your show, forgot to subscribe. Make sure that you hit the bell and the subscribe button. I bought CRV in 2022. I'm pretty tired of this coin. Many coins gave profits. Yes, and I can guarantee you patience is going to reward you. Do not, if you have a bag of CRV and you have a good entry price, do not sell it. Hold on. Just hold on. It's happened to me so many times in the past where I've held on to coins and then at some stage I'm just like, I've had enough. And I sell the bag. And then true as Bob, a week or two later, that coin goes and does something parabolic like 100 or 200% to the upside. And I'm like, why, oh why wasn't I just patient for another 2 weeks? Okay, hold on to your CRV bags. It's going to come. Patience rewards. Right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining the live stream. I've had fun with you guys here today. We've analyzed the price here. Just in summary, keep an eye here on this 786 level. Okay. Also in confluence. Let's see if we get that bounce there. If I take this trend over here, you can see I have the 1.618 here, which is potentially the end of the third wave here to the downside. In confluence with a 786, let's see if we get a bounce there. Okay, if you're unsure, you're scared to enter, and you do get a double bottom there. If you get a double bottom there, I like double bottoms. Okay, I really like double bottoms because you're failing and you're trying again and you're failing, and that's where you enter your swing failure pattern for momentum to the upside. If you are scared to do or to play swing failure patterns, wait for the trend. Okay, you'll be a little bit late to the party, but at least that's an easier trading strategy to trade with, obviously still with good risk management. Okay, right, thanks everyone. I'm going to call it a day. I will most probably upload another video later tonight or do another live stream. We'll see how the day goes. Just for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.